Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to be talking about the possibility of a Nintendo Direct happening soon, because yes, there's been one of those rumors been going around, and we generally try and stay away from rumors about directs and stuff like that, because, you know, realistically anyone can make them, unless we are ourselves extremely confident on it. We're fairly confident about this one, although still not 100%, but it does carry some weight. The person who leaked this information, known as King Zell over on the Reset Era forums, historically does have a history, I suppose, of getting things right. And I've got a cold at the moment, so my brain isn't working very well. This is an easy thing to do. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling. Let's dive right into things. Okay, so the nub of this rumor is that there is going to be a Nintendo Direct happening on the 13th of February, which just so happens to be a Wednesday, which is a good day. And at the time of recording, it's only 2 days away. The games that they have listed as being included in the Direct are as follows, and I suppose, spoiler warning, maybe. Pikmin 3, Mario Maker... Pikmin 3? Pikmin 3? A port of Pikmin 3, Super Mario Maker 2, Boxboy Ports for the Switch, and of course, a new 2D Zelda, of course. And the new Pokemon game that's coming out at the end of the year. Those are the games that will theoretically, according to this rumor, be featured alongside the Metroid Prime Trilogy announcement. The rumor doesn't go into any more details, although there's a couple of things we can extrapolate and just assume will be happening in a Direct, which we'll be talking about after we talk about the main bulk of the thing. Yeah. So first of all, okay, Pikmin 3, a port of the wonderful Wii U game to the Switch. Could that happen? I suppose. The thing is, though, it's weird. I mean, Pikmin 3 is... There's a lot of stylistic choices in there that are very Wii U, like the sort of the communicator pad you have in the game looks exactly like the Switch, the Wii U Pro Controller, the Wii U gamepad, which I suppose is very similar to the Switch, and it wouldn't really matter that much. But I mean, haven't they been saying for ages? I'm sure Miyamoto years ago was saying that Pikmin 4, or the next mainline Pikmin game, is basically done, and this was years ago, but they wouldn't announce what system it was for, and so everyone said, hey, Wii U! And then everyone went, hey, NX! And then everyone went, hey, Switch, yeah. So I'd be very surprised if they ported Pikmin 3 over, because I love Pikmin 3, but the Pikmin franchise, the entire IP, isn't enormous. It's not like a really big, ultra-recognizable Nintendo franchise for a majority of people. Again, for people who love Nintendo, it absolutely is, but to an outsider, just like a mum going to a shop to buy a game for little Timmy, or Tommy, or Nook, they're not going to see Pikmin 3 for the Switch and go, aha! That's a Mario! So yeah, that seems odd, but then again, it is Nintendo, and to say Nintendo surprises us is a massive understatement all the time. Mario Maker 2. Now, this is one that, honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't already happened. I suppose maybe if they wanted to push New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Special Edition, blah, then they don't want it overshadowed by a game where you can create your own Mario levels as long as you don't like diagonal lines. Honestly, I think it's pretty much inevitable that at some point we're gonna get Super Mario Maker, or it's, you know, gonna be a direct sequel or something like that. I would like to see a direct sequel. Direct sequel. But I also really wouldn't be surprised if we just got, like, Super Mario Maker Deluxe, you know, just a Super Mario Maker souped up with, like, a new style of ground tile or something like that. You know, something relatively, or playing as different characters, you know. I would love to see them overdo things and go completely mental and make something brand new, but realistically, I can also see how Super Mario Maker was a very robust game, and it's a lot cheaper to just port that than it is to make a whole new one. Then again, I suppose they could use the original as, like, groundwork and build up. Whether it would be in a Direct this soon, we don't know anything about it. Super Mario Maker came out on the Wii U, then it came out on the 3DS, and that's all we know. it's kind of a wild card. It could happen at any time. Boxboy Ports. Now, Boxboy was really popular. I still never got around to playing it, and I love the look of it. I love me a puzzle platformer, so I would be well up for a Boxboy port, or 2 or 3. It's really big in Japan as well, as much as I remember. So yeah, that one seems really obvious. I don't have as much to say about things as I did about Pikmin, it seems. I don't know, it just seems odd. It seems like an odd choice to include in a direct when there are so many other bigger games that could theoretically be shown that haven't been announced yet. I don't know, I'm just not 100% convinced by that. It's a safe option. Maybe it's easy to port from the 3DS to the Switch. I don't know. At least visually it's very easy to do. Maybe you could recreate the whole thing and that would be quite simple, I don't know. This new 2D Zelda idea, this one I'm really skeptical about, to be honest, because yes, I love me a 2D Zelda game. Would I embrace a new one? Absolutely, with open arms. I loved Link Between Worlds, that was fantastic. Brilliant way to go back to the old formula, change things up and, you know, inject some new ideas into it. It wasn't out of this world with new ideas, but like going into walls and stuff like that. Mwah! But I kind of think we got that because the 3DS maybe didn't need a new Zelda game, but it could really do with a new Zelda game. And so they were like, well, we could do a 3D one, but realistically, the 2D one's going to be a lot easier just for the system, the limitations and stuff like that. So they threw that out and everyone loved it, brilliant, no problem. But if the 3DS had been beefier, I wouldn't have been surprised if they tried to do a full 3D one like Breath of the Wild or some sort of port of an old game like they did with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. You know, that went really well, but the Switch is so much more powerful. It can handle Breath of the Bloomin' Wild, of course. So I don't see why they would go back to something a lot simpler beyond, I suppose, maybe trying to appeal to a different audience, or it's, you know, sort of lower budget so it can be cheaper, thrown out, people still buy it, so it's sort of a lower risk idea. But I just don't see them doing it. It's still Nintendo though, so anything I say could just easily be complete rubbish because they do what they want at the end of the day. Breath of the Wild was so massive and such a huge revelation for the series. I can't really see them going backwards. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you can't reply. Having said that, they could always treat it like how Mario has the 3D games and the 2D games. Maybe they'll do it like that, so it'll be souped up and look lovely, but it's not Breath of the Wild. It's okay, go out. I'm tired. Pokemon 2019, yeah. To be honest, this one seems a bit obvious to me. I mean, I wouldn't be ridiculously surprised if it wasn't in the next Direct, whether it happens on Wednesday or otherwise, but at the same time, they have announced Pokemon games in the past really quite far in advance. They don't usually do it during Directs. I mean, I know they've announced the game, but like revealed the game, they don't, like I say, they don't really do it during Directs. From what I remember, they usually do it during like Japanese things, because the Pokemon Company and Nintendo are kind of, they're not the same and they're different, and they bicker. Having said that, they did announce it in a Direct, so it's not impossible, but yeah, I mean, I suppose if this was the first reveal of gameplay, that would surprise me, but if it was a subsequent one, less surprising. But as we haven't seen anything, and this Direct is supposedly happening on Wednesday, oh, I'm just very unsure. Would be great to see. I'd love to see what they plan to do with the series after Let's Go being a sort of a stopgap, or at least assuming Let's Go was a stopgap, and then go on to, you know, new mainline with lots of lovely, shiny, pretty graphics. That'd be lovely. And Metroid Prime Trilogy. Well, I've heard from so many different people that apparently the game has basically been made and finished for ages now, as in, you know, a re-release for the Switch. Obviously, the original game was. And given the whole thing with Metroid Prime 4 recently being scrapped and started again, I can see them wanting to offer some sort of crumb of comfort of, we still love Metroid, we're still taking it seriously, please don't run away just yet, and then offering this delicate morsel. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the original Metroid Prime. The sequel, I think, is arguably maybe even underrated. I like the whole sort of duality between the light world and, well, there's ether and dark ether and stuff like that, which I called Aether when I was younger. I don't think it is as good as the first game, but I do think it gets ragged on far more than it deserves. And the third one, I still haven't played properly. I've got it in like 3 different forms. I just have never got round to playing it properly. And I don't know why, probably because it was on the Wii and I never owned a Wii when it came out. It would be so nice to be able to play Metroid Prime with like gyro controls. Oh, that would be so good. But in short, yeah, I can see that happening. It's another port. Nintendo loves bringing old systems, old games to new systems as a way to sort of keep things alive and keep things ticking over. I wouldn't be 100% surprised if we didn't get the announcement of a port of Samus Returns, but at the same time I wouldn't be terribly surprised if we didn't, because maybe I just want it so much I'm blinded. As for other stuff in the Direct that hasn't been leaked, I think we're going to be seeing more on Luigi's Mansion 3, and all the usual stuff, you know, Yoshi's Crafted World, and all that sort of thing, and all the other ones I've forgotten. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I think we're going to get a release date for that. Maybe a release date for the other one as well, which I've forgotten. I keep wanting to say Yoshi, but we've already got one. Luigi's Mansion. And no doubt there's going to be some other stuff in there, maybe some indie things. I know we had the indie highlights recently, but you know, sort of really, really ultra big indies often appear in Directs as well. Or maybe because they recently had the indie highlights, they won't. I don't know. I don't know. Ugh. And there you have it. That's my thoughts on the recently rumored Nintendo Direct happening on the 13th of February, and the things that have supposedly been rumored that would be appearing in it, and my own thoughts and things, and I need to stop talking. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you try and fight your way through the fog towards that subscribe button, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.